Mr. President.
The Senator from California.
Mr. President, I rise to join in the honored tradition of the Senate to offer my final floor remarks before departing. And interestingly, I rise to let the pages know that breaking traditional Senate practice, there are no written remarks for you to come pick up. I decided just this morning that I was going to write a different speech, that I was going to offer words of my own as I mark what is the end of a journey for me. As I end this journey as the junior senator representing 40 million Californians, it is a day that I want to thank them and thank Governor Newsom for giving me the honor and privilege of serving our great state. Mr. President, it's been a remarkable honor, completely unimagined adventure to follow in the footsteps of Dianne Feinstein, who so ably served in this chamber for more than 30 years. And to be blessed to walk the same hallways as Senators Carol Moseley Braun and share the same office space as Vice President Kamala Harris, it truly has been an unbelievable privilege. Indeed, the footsteps that I have had the opportunity to follow in this walk of service have been filled with decency, honor, integrity, and courage. And I can only hope that for the people of California that I was able to do half as well as those who came before me. And as is true for all of us, and for those who came before, this journey of public service is not one that we travel alone. Along with us on the rough side of the mountain is our staff, the staff who work so hard to help keep the pace, who help to plot the path and bring all of the supplies and make sure that no one gets lost or left behind. I want to thank my capable, incredibly talented staff for making sure that we never lost sight of our North Star, the people of California. They have given not only their hard work and long hours, but their brilliant minds and all of their hearts to make sure that the last 14 months have truly been impactful. And for all of that, I will forever be grateful. I know that it is most often true that in the traversing of the roads of service, that it is often our family and our friends that serve as the fuel that keep us going day by day. And that has been certainly true for me. My wife and daughter, Nikki and Nyla, have refilled my tank and refilled my cup at the moments that I thought that I was running low. And so to them, I am grateful for never letting me run out. To my mother, who has watched more C-SPAN in the last 14 months than in all her 71 years, my brothers, my sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, and dear friends, just when the clouds get low and start to look a little heavy, it's been your cards, your calls, your texts, your letters, your visits to D.C. That truly have brought out the sunshine. And so to all of you, I am deeply grateful and cannot thank you enough. To my colleagues and fellow travelers, you have truly made this journey special. The old quote by Tim Cahill that says, "A journey is best measured in friends, not miles," is true for me. You have all given me so much to make this journey one to enjoy. It could not have been more true in my short time. I don't have the years or have been able to clock the miles of any of my colleagues who have spoken up to this point as they prepare to leave. But I have had the opportunity to build what I believe will be lifelong friendships along this entire journey. And for that, on both sides of the aisle, I truly know that I am grateful. I want to give a special shout out to my senior senator, Alex Padilla, and his kind and generous comments from yesterday. He has been like a tour guide on this incredible ride, always carrying the compass, making sure I don't stray too far off the path, but knowing full well that I am a traveler who is intent on walking her own way. Senator Padilla has supported me all along the journey, and I'm grateful. I know that Senator-elect Schiff is here, and I want to appreciate him and his support throughout this transition. Also, a special call to Leader Chuck Schumer, who has given and throughout these 14 months offered his wisdom and his trust, his friendship, and I am deeply, deeply grateful. Mr. President, what I know is that I stand on the floor of the Senate as a 14-month senator. But my road to justice and the pursuit of justice has been much longer than 14 months. I know that I only stand here because of the men and women, the working families of SEIU and our labor movement. And I couldn't end this term without thanking them for sharing with me and inviting me in to their stories of courage and hope for what is possible in our great country. And I want them to know that I carry their stories with me. I carry their families with me in my head and in my heart here in the Senate and wherever it is that I go. Mr. President, in my final few minutes, I want to end my time in the Senate the way that I began it. On this floor, I gave my first speech talking with and about America's now generation, our young leaders, future members of Congress, carpenters, plumbers, firefighters, nurses, police officers. I talked with them about what I had heard from them, from so many of them, about what was important. And so in my last remarks, I want to come back to them, talk with and about them, offer a few lessons from this experience here with all of you. You know, all summer long, this now generation has been bopping to the masterful beats of California's own Kendrick Lamar. We all have been hearing from radio waves and all in our iPods the anthem that they not like us. And as I celebrate what has become a global hit, I too have listened to it, on repeat so often all throughout the summer. I want America's young leaders to know that the words of Kendrick are just that. Words lyrics in a historic rap battle, sources of great entertainment and joy. What they are not are words upon which we should build our community or the future of our country, because indeed, they are exactly like us. You see, when I was 5, I went to Levi Temple Head Start Center in Magnolia, Mississippi. Of course, in Head Start, children get just that, a head start in learning the foundational lessons of preparing to be in a school environment. And as I've been reflecting on this time and the lessons that this time has given me, I realized that it was in that old church building in Head Start that the experience there actually shaped who I have become. The seeds planted in Head Start are ones that have grown in me every day for the 40 years since I left. It was 1985, and my Head Start teacher was a woman by the name of Miss Carrie Hilbert. And I remember getting ready to graduate Head Start and trying on these royal blue graduation gowns and graduation caps. And for 2 weeks, Ms. Hilbert painstakingly prepared us for Head Start graduation. And our graduation song in 1985, she worked to make sure that our little squirmy 5- and 6-year-olds were going to be able to sing this song and perform for our parents and our loved ones, and she did it masterfully. Mr. President, in 1985, the lyrics that Ms. Hilbert taught me were the lyrics to We Are the World, written by the greats, Lionel Richie, Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, who we lost just earlier this year. I remember having to practice that song day after day for probably about 2 weeks, not knowing then, but that all throughout that graduation rehearsal, seeds were being planted. Seeds sang by Stevie Wonder and Lionel Richie. There comes a time when we must heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. Seeds from Tina Turner and Billy Joel. We are all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, is love is all we need. Seeds sang and planted by the unlikely duo of Willie Nelson and Al Jarreau, who planted the seeds that, as God has shown us, by turning stones to bread, so we all must lift and give a helping hand. One of the most powerful seeds that really stuck with me was those offered by Michael Jackson, Huey Lewis, and Cyndi Lauper. When you're down and out and there seems no hope at all, if you just believe, there is no way we can fall. Let us realize that change can only come when we stand together as one. Young leaders, colleagues, Mr. President, I believe it was those 2 weeks of repetition and practice that planted the seeds of possibility and hope, seeds of determination and courage. It was learning the lyrics to that song at 5 years old that inspired a generation full of patriots who believed in the power of this country to do good in the world and for each other. Because when we choose to do hard things together, the people of this nation, all of its elected leaders, our community advocates, when we see each other's humanity, when we see our neighbors as essential to the future that we want for our children, when we understand that our differences are our greatest assets, it's then when we truly are doing and being the best country in the world. And so my final prayer as a member of this august body is that we realize that as policymakers, we are generations Head Start teachers. Every single day, we can plant seeds that will grow in the hearts and minds of young leaders, and we get to decide the seeds we plant. Will we plant seeds that help them understand and imagine what's possible for an America filled with people of different walks, different faiths, different bank accounts, different languages? Will we plant seeds to help them realize and see what is possible for not just for the United States, but for the world? And as was taught to me in that old church building, we will reap what we sow. Mr. President, I yield.